I'm fixing to share a recipe with y'all for a cookie that I made years and years and years ago. And I loved them then. I can't exactly remember what I did with them. It was on one of my shows, Best Dishes or Home Cooking. I can't remember, but I loved them. So I'm gonna make those same kind of cookie, but excuse me, I'm gonna address them differently from what I did 100 years ago. So these are called chocolate dipped brandy sticks. And in the recipe, it tells you to bake no more than 6 at the time. Well, if memory serves me right, I didn't want to bake but like 3 at the time, because we're going to be rolling these up, and they're going to be thin. And if we don't get them while they're still warm, ain't no way we're going to get them rolled. So I'll decide about that as we come along.
Why are we making these, Paula?
Oh, y'all, guess what? This is the 9th day of Christmas cookies. I forgot to tell y'all that. I think in an earlier film, I was doing some cookies and I said 10 days of Christmas. It's 12 days of Christmas cookies, and this is number 9. All right, I've got my butter. I've got my heat on low. I've got my sugar. I have got my dark corn syrup. I've got my cinnamon, and I've got my ginger. Now, if Michael was here, he'd say, well, I always like Mary Ann better. I mean, I can bank on him saying that every time I mention the spiced ginger. All right, so in goes our cinnamon, and in goes Miss Ginger. All right, so we're just gonna stir this until it's melted over low heat. And then I have a cup of all-purpose flour over here, and I've got a little brandy that we're gonna add to it. And when this is nice and everything's melted, we'll add that flour and our brandy to it. It appears to be everything nice and melted. I'm just trying to work the butter our melted butter into the rest of our ingredients. I'm gonna go ahead and add our 2 teaspoons of brandy. Whoa. Kind of went over on that one, so there we go. All right. And I've got my cup of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna take that off the heat, and we're gonna stir it in. And I'm using, I love this parchment paper because you can reuse it. And I had baked some cookies on it earlier, so we're gonna get the goodie out of that. Now we're gonna bake these for about 10 to 14 minutes in a 300-degree oven until they're kind of a caramel color. Well, they're already almost a caramel color right now. All right, so we're gonna drop these by a heaping teaspoon. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go for 6 and hope it works. All right, that first one was a little shy, so I'm gonna go back in. Oops, I forgot to cut my eye off. All right, so in the oven this goes about 14 minutes, and we're going to take them out. And you see this spoon right here? This spoon is very important because we're going to take them off of our cookie sheet and we're going to roll them around the handle of this spoon. So you have to work quickly. That's all I got to say about that. So in the oven these goes. These goes. Okay, y'all, we're going to have to work quick, quick, quick. Okay. Let's see, I wish I could get them off of there. There we go. Now I can work better, more gooder. Okay, I'm going to get them started. And then I'm going to wrap it around my spoon. Just like that. And I'm going to let them cool. So see, you can't let them get too crisp, or they won't wrap. Come on, tighten up, baby. That one's not tight enough. I think I can do that one better just by hands. Okay. So I think I'm going to be able to do 6 at the time, y'all, with not a great deal of effort. And you want to roll them tight because we're just halfway home with this recipe. Once we get them all rolled, we'll be half through. I just love these things. If you wanted to cheat, really cheat, you could buy these things that are like in the can. What are they called? Pirouettes. And you could just do the second half of the recipe. But I want them all homemade.
You ready to put the next batch in?
Yeah, just 1 second. I want to roll this one a little bit tighter, if I can. Yes, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, now it's time for our cookies to get the last step. I've got a cup of chocolate chips and 1 tablespoon of butter-flavored shortening. And I'm going to melt this in the microwave, and I'm going to start like at 45 seconds. I'm going to take it out, stir it, put it back for 15 or 20 seconds. Okay, y'all, I've got my butter and my shortening melted, and I'll probably have to go back. And I decided to put mine in a cup because you want to go about halfway up. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to roll it nuts. And that's number 9 of our Christmas cookies. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir, buddy. Now, I love the base of this cookie because, you know, there's so many ways that you could change it up and do it a bunch of different ways. I love to think about maybe piping it, you know, before I make that last thing with maybe some flavored cream cheese or something. I mean, you just let your imagination run wild with you, y'all. Yes. With a cup of coffee. Yes, yes. Okay, y'all. Look at our finished product. They're so cute. Now, you know, if you're family's not a chocolate fan, you can do like buttercream icing. You know, just make it a little bit thicker than you normally would. But I just happened to think about this container that I had, and I used to put little small glass shot glasses in there and put fresh flowers in it. Sometimes I would use them to stick my wooden utensils in. But Eddie, when I asked Eddie, I said, have you seen anything like that? He said, yeah, I know right where it is. So he went to my garage. It's swap full. And look how cute this is, because they're hard to stack. And I put these in the refrigerator for about 10 or 15 minutes. And I'm so ready to taste them. I'm gonna start at the other end. Here, Michael and I adore crispy stuff. And this is kind of tastes like Susan Green, my bubbles. She makes a cookie that's real thin. She doesn't roll them up, and that's what it reminds me of that particular. You better shut up, Paula. Shut up, girl. Please try this for Christmas. And remember, this is the 9th day of Christmas cookie. It's the 9th cookie of
the 12 days of Christmas.
I don't know why that's hard for me to say. I'm sweating like a fat girl right in the love nut of y'all. I'm so hot in here. It's fun, it's different, and it's delicious. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.